Oh gosh, I always get camera shy as soon as she says go. I can sit here and talk to you for hours and hours on end, and as soon as she says go, then I'm like, ugh. Okay. I am so excited to be here today with Severine Secret, who is an interior designer and the owner CEO of Go2 Design Studio. How did you get into this industry of design and architecture? And tell me a little bit about your background.
Okay, so I've always been interested in design and anything creative. I went to school for interior design at Santa Cruz State University, and I graduated in 2000. In the first part of my career, I spent about 10 years working in large architectural firms and learned a lot about the technical aspect of design. So,
what do you mean by technical aspect?
Technical aspect by doing construction drawings and figuring out my design and sharing the information with the contractors by drawing details and learning about materials and lighting. So it's not just decoration, it's more in-depth architectural. And I started my own business in 2009 because
why not? Yeah. The best time to start a business when we're in a recession.
And I have an office in Saratoga, and I also use the space here at Illumine and collaborate with Chris and Isabel. So I do commercial and residential design. And I do it all.
Do you have a favorite? What's your favorite type of project?
I don't have a favorite. I love them both for very different reasons.
Okay.
I get to decorate when, and it's more personal on a residential project. On a commercial project, it's larger scale options.
Right. Can you tell us a little bit about the process that you go through when you're meeting with a client to understand what they want and how to achieve their end goal?
So design is not random. Design is about trying to figure out the best functional use of a space. So you have to interview your clients in detail to understand what they want to achieve and what they're about and discover their style. Most of people don't know what they want or not even how to start. So you spend a lot of time interviewing them and figuring out their lifestyle. You have to really spend time understanding what they're about and what their family's about and how they live and then create a story, create their story, basically. So it's, the first process is basically schematic, is asking a lot of questions, spending a lot of time with them and their space, trying to understand the problems first to eventually come about the right solution for them. So that's the first step. And then once we have that, I go back, I study, and I come back with some kind of a solution. And we design what we call the development of design. And that will be, we'll start pulling materials together and space plans and functionalities. And then once we agree on all of these components, then we can start on building the space and with construction documents and a contractor and
I want to talk a little bit about that because last time I met with you, you clarified that you're not just an interior designer, you're also a designer, and that is basically minus the license. You're able to draw plans that are then submitted for permits. So tell us a little bit about how that works and why somebody would want to use you versus an architect, and how you can combine and collaborate both of the interior design and the design part of your business.
And I'm not saying that I don't work with architects. I like working with architects. I think on larger scale projects, it's important for me to work with them. But I really love the collaboration. That's one aspect of my industry that I really like is like collaborating with a lot of trades. And an architect will work with the big aspect, with, you know, and I'm more into the details and the interiors. And you can either work with me directly, and yes, I can put a set of construction documents together. You don't need an architect for that. You need a structural engineer's signature, basically. So I do have all the technical background in order to, you know, set a permit set.
Tell us about your job.
Okay, so I can start by doing a paint consultation, or, you know, a small scale project would be paint, rugs, maybe a fabric for a chair. I can also do a remodel for a bathroom or a kitchen, and I can also take it to a full-on new construction or addition or extension. I pretty much do it all. And so I'm not just a decorator or just a designer or construction. I just, you know, I have, I'm able to do all that because of my technical background and my ability and my sensitivity to aesthetics.
Do you have a favorite part of your job?
The favorite part of my job is to figuring out the puzzle, because it is a puzzle. And when I sit down with my clients and I'm trying to understand and get all the backgrounds and, you know, their feelings, their frustrations, and turn it into a solution. And they look at me and are like, how did you know? You know, how did you know how to resolve that? Or, wow, this is really cool. That's very satisfactory for me.
Yeah, that sounds really satisfying. Is there like any design tips that, like, if somebody were to be considering finishing out a room, that you would say, like, things to consider when you're putting the final touches on an interior design project in your living room? Or
so that is basically all depends on, you know, the style that you're going for. But one tip that I really want to emphasize on is that don't follow trends. Just follow your heart and discover what you are like and what you like, and then it will be the room that you want to be in, because it will be yours.
how do you get away from trends, though? They're like everywhere, like even like
You don't get away. You can, you know, have some elements, but if, let's say, the trend is black and white and you love pink,
Okay.
why make your room black and white?
Got
Just make it pink.
Yeah, okay. I like that. Follow
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
aesthetic.
Yeah. What inspired me to go to that field? I've always been an artist, but I just didn't want to be a starving artist. So I went into the business of design. I also am an engineer, I believe, and I'm terrible at math. So I think interior design was the perfect combination of engineering, technique, and technology and art. My aesthetic? More like mid-century modern, contemporary. That's more my vibe.
Have you ever found a piece of furniture that you did not purchase and that you're like still thinking about?
Yes.
What was it?
Eames Lounge.
Oh, well, that's not too late. You can still
Exactly,
get
I
it.
can still get it.
I'm a fan. It's like a piece of art that you can sit in.
Totally.
I like interior design because it is like bringing like the functional side of art and like combining and collaborating, and exactly what you said, like creating a space that works for an individual or family, or like it's not one size fits all.
Oftentimes we don't understand or appreciate the functionality of a well-designed space. Once you figure out the practicality and the aesthetic and the personality, or the company philosophy, because for commercial space, it just makes a big difference in people's lives. And yeah, and that's what's essential. That's what, the whole business of design is about.